Now let's say for example, this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, let's say, this is the day of the week, right? This is the day of the week. For getting random numbers, you use comma because if you look at the, what does this one say? Bottom comma top. That's how you have to write it. That's the syntax. Okay. But if you see sum, you can also use number 1 comma number 2, which means this comma this comma this, right? Or I can just use this colon this. Try to remember how we defined range. We defined range as I3 colon something, right? Why sum is not changing every time? Yeah, because why sum is not changing? Because all these are values. It is not a function. It is not ran between. All these are values. If I do sum here, right? If I do sum here, if I do sum on this one, it will keep changing. See this? See this? It keeps changing. Okay, but these, whatever I'm operating on, are values. Okay. Now, what I'll do is I'll take a sum of these. Okay. All Mondays, the first Mondays in January, February, March, April, and May, I got 224. Now see what happens. The formula is sum is colon I3 equal to sum of I3 colon M3. Now I'm dragging it vertically. Before I drag it, what should happen? If I drag this formula vertically, what is going to happen? What will change? Will I and M change or will 3 change? How will I change? I am dragging it vertically. Right? See this. When I drag it vertically, I am moving across the rows. I am moving across the rows. I am not moving across the columns. I3, M3 will change to I4, M4, I5, M5, I6, M6, I7, M7. This is a very, very important concept that you have to know to do anything in Excel. Okay? Now, call this as day-wise sum. Okay? I want the day-wise sum and I want the percentage. Okay, so what is the total? The total is sum of all of this, right? 3549. So what is the percentage? Percentage is equal to this divided by this, right? Okay, this is the, I want to show it as a percentage. I'll show it as a percentage. Understood the percentage here? Okay. Now I want percentage for every value. Okay, now I have written a formula. Now if I drag it, I'll drag it, okay. What happened? Okay, let me explain again. What I want is, I've calculated the day-wise sum, right? Now here I want day-wise sum as a percentage of total. This is what? This day-wise sum equal to the day-wise sum N3 divided by the total, right? N18, which is 6.31%. Now I want it for every row. Can I drag the formula? What will happen if I drag it? It is throwing an error. Exactly, Vaishnavi. Why did it happen? Because what happened when you drag the formula down? N3 changed to N4, which is correct, but N18 also changed to N19, and N19 is blank. What I want is, I want N18, this denominator should not change when I drag the formula. Okay, the denominator should not change when I drag the formula. So what I can do is, I'll again write the formula, please concentrate. N3, okay, divided by N18, and then I press F4, the function F4. When I press F4, you see a dollar sign has come in front of N, a dollar sign has come in front of 18, which is called cell reference, okay, or cell freezing, and say enter. Now the value is 6.31%. Now let's see what happens when I drag this down. When I drag this formula down, you will see that only N3 has changed to N4, N18 remains as it is because I have frozen it by using a dollar sign in front of the column as well as the row. This is very important and it's called self-freezing, right? A dollar sign before the row and before the column means the row and the column is frozen. Okay. A dollar sign only in front of the column means only the column is frozen. Now even if the column is frozen and even if I drag this formula down, yeah, see what happened? Again I got a division by 0, right? Because I have not frozen this. Let me do this. I'll unfreeze the column N and freeze row 18. Okay, and then I will drag it. Now it works. Did you see what happened? Even if I have not frozen N, right? Why is it not changing? Because I am doing a row wise operation. Okay. Okay, once again, I'll repeat this formula. N3 divided by N18, I'm freezing. Okay, the first formula is N3 divided by N $18, which means I'm freezing the dollar symbol. Okay, and I'm moving it down. Now if I move down, will N change? N will not change, right? So I don't have to freeze the column N, right? I can just freeze this row 18 because this should not change. If you want to freeze both, you can also use this, but in this case it is not necessary because I am moving row wise. I am moving across just only one column. I am moving across the rows, so I have not frozen N. Cool. Okay. Now this is called cell referencing. Okay. If you want to freeze a row or a column, you just put a dollar sign in front of it. Now there's a challenge for you guys. There is this table. Okay. It's very simple. It has 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It has 5 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is what I call as a multiplicative table. Okay. What does multiplicative table mean? That means every cell in this table is a multiplication of the row and the column value. Okay, so that means this cell should be 1, this cell should be 1 into 5, the last cell should be this into this 25. You get the concept, right? Every cell in this table is a multiplication of. How can get blank page? Just click on the plus icon right here in the bottom. Click on the plus icon in the bottom. Okay, you understood? This is a multiplicative table. Now what I want is, I want you all to write a formula. Okay, and when I drag it down and when I drag it right, I want to see the values 1 to 25. Now here obviously it is wrong, correct? Because when I am dragging it, these are wrong values. What I want is, I want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. but I want to write only a formula in one cell and just drag it. I don't want to write a formula in every cell. I want to write a formula in one cell and drag it. Okay. So let me take an answer given from you guys only. Equal to, okay, first let's do this, right? First let's just type in the row into column. Okay. Now, if you want a blank page, go to view, right? There's a grid lines which is checked. You uncheck it, you will find the grid lines will go. Okay. Okay. Now let's solve this, right? The first thing is B3 into C2. Now what happens when I drag this down? If I want to drag it down and I want column C to remain as it is, so I will freeze C, right? Okay. In fact, I don't need to freeze C. I need to freeze 2, right? Right? Okay. If I freeze 2, that means this row is frozen, right? This whole row is frozen. Now I drag it. Okay. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is what I want. Okay. Now what is happening? If I drag this here, okay, here, okay, there's a problem. Why? Because, okay, this is fine, which is B7 into C2, and this value should be B7 into D2, right? But B7 is going to C7. So I need to freeze B. Okay. I drag it like this and I drag it to the right. There you go.